So good morning to one and all. This is Dr. Pranay Devte, and today we will going to see the one of the topic of the basic geology, that is the hydrosphere and atmosphere, which is also having application in other subject. So the objective behind this lecture is to know, is to familiarize with the concept of hydrosphere and the so as you know that when we study the earth, there is a four system of earth. There is a four system of earth, or we can more better to say there is a four component of the earth. Each and every component is equally important and having a their own characteristic. But the thing is that all the four sphere is uh, get what we can say the connected with each other. All the four sphere is get connected with each other. So the atmosphere, the layer of gas that surround Earth, more commonly known as air. So this is a air. So first we see the atmosphere. In this four layer, first we will see the atmosphere. So what is the atmosphere and what is the hydrosphere? Hydrosphere is whatever the water that is available on Earth for us, that is known as hydrosphere. Earth is also known as a blue planet. When you see Earth from the satellite view or from the space, you can see more blue things, blue planet. So that is known as blue planet because of the three-fourth of the our planet. Three-fourth is a good amount of the area that is covered by the water in the Earth. So three-fourth of the our planet is water. So it is called as a blue planet. It is called as a blue planet. The structure of hydrosphere is contained. The structure of hydrosphere is 97% of the Earth is whatever the water you have, whatever the water you have, that 97% of the water, 97% of the water is uh, considered or concentrated in a ocean. The 97% of the water is concentrated in a ocean, whereas 3% of remaining water is as a fresh water. 3% of the remaining water is a fresh water. So you can see that most of the water is concentrated only on the ocean. When then we will see in nature. That's why you cannot use this water for human as well as for the industrial purpose also. Why for industrial purpose? Because there is a no the whatever the instrument they have used, whatever the instrument they have used. So this instrument is having a what? This instrument is having a what we can say the instrument is uh, get corroded because of the foliage or that instrument is get corroded because of the salty water. Okay, so that's why you have a saline water don't use for any purpose. In fresh water distribution, you have ice, you have groundwater, then you have atmosphere and soil, and most of the fresh water is trapped in a ice. So whatever the fresh water you have, they are distributed or they are concentrated mostly in a ice. They are mostly concentrated in a ice. So ice is a major part which is taken from this one. Then you have a groundwater. Then you have a groundwater. Then you have a surface fresh water. Then you have a surface fresh water. Atmosphere and soil 0.05%. Most of the fresh water is trapped in a ice. So whatever the most of the water, most of the fresh water is trapped in a ice. So understanding where your water is located, understanding the where your water is located is very important. What bodies of water hold the largest amount of water? Ocean is the largest bodies of water on Earth. So as we already discussed that ocean is the largest body of water on Earth. Ocean is the largest body of water on Earth. So 97% of this one is considered as this taken by the your what we can say the by the your ocean is having most of the percentage. Then what features house water as a ice? Iceberg. So iceberg is also one of the main storage of water. Large. What is the iceberg? Iceberg is a large piece of fresh water that floating in a open water, glacier, or any large mass of the ice that moves slowly over the land. So that is your glacier. So again, a glacier is defined as any large mass of ice. Glacier is nothing but any large mass of the ice that moves slowly over the land. Any large mass of the ice that moves slowly over the land, which having a permanent snow areas also house water as a ice. So this is known as your glacier. What is the difference between watershed and river? So this question is mostly asked in many interviews and all. What is the basic difference between the watershed and river basin? More you, if you define this one, or if you have an idea about this one, you can sound the same one for these two. But it's not happen like that. River basin is a term which is used for an area that is drained into the river. So river basin is the basinal area. So whatever the drain area, and that area is get uh, drained, the area that is drained into the large river. Okay, maybe you have a Ganga river, you have some other are all these river are get all these rivers are get drained, area get drained from this one. Then you have a watershed. Okay, then you have a watershed, the term which is used to describe an area that drain into smaller river or stream. So watershed is the area that drain into the smaller river or system. So the large and small river, this is the only difference between watershed and river. Okay. Then you have freshwater location. Then you have a freshwater location, river basin and watershed. The larger river basin are made up of many interconnected watershed. Example, Cape Fear and News River Basin. And the water in the watershed run into lowest point or river, stream or lake. So largest river basin are made up of many interconnected watersheds. So watershed is basically a smaller unit than your basin. So basin is having a several watershed, a mini watershed, which will be joined together. Which will be joined together. So where all the water is get trapped, or where we have all the most of the fresh water. So what we seen in the last lecture, the last slide, that whatever the water we have, most of the water are concentrated on ocean. Most of the water are concentrated on ocean. So what is a river? So river is a large channel along which water is continuously flowing down a slope. A river is a large channel along which water is continuously flowing down a slope made up of many streams that come together. So a large channel along which water is continually flowing down the slope. So slope is a very important factor for the all the things like you have a stream. The stream is get together because of the slope. So if you don't have a slope and you have a gentle slope, your river is not getting much of the momentum. So that is why river slope is a very important for the this one. Then you have a stream. A stream is a small channel along the which water is continuously flowing down a slope made of small gullies. Okay, so this is a different factor which is store the water. Then you have a lake. Lake is nothing but a lock water body which is surrounded by the land. So body of water of considerable size contain a body of land. Okay. Then the next or another concept, another things which hold the water is groundwater. The water found in the cracks and pores in the sand, gravel, and rocks below the earth's surface. What so groundwater is nothing but the whatever rock, the whatever rock below the ground, whatever rock that found below the ground is known as groundwater. Whatever the rock that is found below the ground is known as groundwater. What is aquifer? What is the aquifer? Aquifer is a porous rock layer. Aquifer is a porous rock layer underground that is reserved for water. So this is known as aquifer. How water moves to the underground? So once you have precipitation in the form of your water droplets and all. So precipitation can evaporate, run off, and surface or soak into the underground. So some are get evaporated back. Some rocks get soak in the underground, and uh, so water trickle down between the uh, water trickle down between the particle of soil to cracks and spare spaces in a layer of rock. So water trickle down between the particle of the soil and through cracks and spaces in the layer of the rock. So this is how your water is get moved. So from this diagram also you can able to understand from this diagram the process is going on. So you have a precipitation, and after precipitation, you have it is goes to the some are goes to the evaporation, some are goes to the underground water flow. So after the groundwater flow, it goes to the stream and get pumped or get pumped by the some devices, external devices. So this is a diagram showing that how the groundwater can be cleaned. So this is the effect of the different material on the flow. So flowing of water from one place to another place is a very important one. What are the permeable material? What are the permeable material? Material that are full of tiny connected air spaces that that are what we can say the can seep through. Can water seep through? So so permeable layer means from one layer to another layer it get move easily. It get move easily. So that is known as the permeable layer. Impermeable layer are those layer. Impermeable layer are those layer which is having a what we can say The material is a such a way. Material is a way that you are from one place to another place it travels, but uh, because of their grain size. If their grain size is more, you can have a easy flow movement. Okay. In underground in the so when the water is goes into underground, they are also want to come to the surface. So that fringe is known as seam fringe. So so whatever the your silty layer and all are there, they are good for the infiltration. And when your water is having a more space to store in the subsurface underground, they will be stored as. Then you have main rainfall. So when rains fall on the land, when rain falls on the land, some of the water is absorbed into the ground, forming pockets of water called groundwater. Most groundwater, most groundwater is eventually return to the surface. Other precipitation not get absorbed and collect in rivers. So stream, ocean, and called as a runoff. So runoff means when rainfall is happen, when rain is fall to the earth land, some water get absorbed, some water is get for a ground event or ground displacement. So this is known as the runoff. Then you have a water zone. Then you have a water zone. So the water zone is the area of permeable rock or soil that is completely filled with the water and is consist of the saturated zone. It consists of saturated zone. So saturated zone and unsaturated zone is the only phenomenon where you have water and where you don't have water. The saturated zone is also called as a water table. Whatever the this sample are from lower level, you may have been desert in there. So soil and rock layer above the water body is the soil and uh, rock layer above the water table contains some moisture too. But here is the process contain air, they are not saturated. This is known as unsaturated zone. So saturated zone and unsaturated. Saturated zone is a water table where you have a water table. Access by the this one. So third one is the artesian well. The artesian well are those well which can be drawn up when water rises because of the pressure. And so you may sometimes see in some of the areas that the water from the your dug well or dug well and all will become automatically up. So that is these wells are known as artesian well. Is known as artesian well. So this is a water cycle. This is a water cycle. In the water cycle, you know that what the water cycle is about. you know that what is the water cycle is about. Water cycle is having a what we can say the it it goes from one it goes from the one unit to the another. It means right from you like a cycle. You don't have uh, any stop or any start. So that's why you have a can see that what happened the if because of the evaporation whatever the pre-existing water you have in a different bodies they get evapotranspirated. Then you have a rainfall in the form of snow and water. So whatever the your ocean will be remaining is a cloud tree or what we can say. So second one is the atmosphere. Now what we will see, what is we see till now is a hydrosphere. Now we have a lithosphere. Now you have a lithosphere. So you have a lithosphere with this one. So now after hydrosphere we will move towards the new topic that is the hydrosphere. That is a hydrosphere. Is this air that surrounded us consider matter? Does it weigh anything? How do you know? So can you see the air by naked eyes in day-to-day life? You just feel it. Okay. So think about it and decide on answer. Talk in a group with the person who sit by you. Be ready to tell him the class that you decided to uh, and any. So this is the nothing but a mm, this is nothing but the air that is surround. Air is nothing but the moving. Air is nothing but the what we can say the wind. And the basic component about the this all are the atmosphere. Then you have a weight of atmosphere. Then you have a way of atmosphere. So gases are in the atmosphere. They are things we learn about in the periodic table. Panzara, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen. So this is all are the gases which is present in your system. This is most of the gases which will be used by this laboratory notes. So it is a matter sound can travel in it. So whatever the material we are for this one, they all are the solid job. They are having a sound. So this is again a chemistry is coming. I know that some of you might have not interested in chemistry, but the more the subject you have interlinked with each other. So the atom makes up a large glasses. Are some atom bigger than the other? So you can see the asymmetric classification and all. Are their atomic weight all are the same? So this is what the atom which is makes up gases. Your what atom will get to the atomic figure. So this is the nothing but what we can say the periodic table. This is a periodic table. So you can have a different series like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is the uh, thing. So this is the periodic table and periodic radius. So you can have this all the material in your laptop, and you can you're able to understand which is the mineral is having a which formula. So if I say the Ca, what is Ca? Ca is a calcium. CaCO3 is the calcium carbonate. Okay. So this is a what the composition will give you the idea about. But for the uh, this is the helium versus dioxide. Do you think of helium as light and floating, heavy and falling? Do you not think of carbon dioxide are the latest and floating, or or floating or a heavy and failing. This about the think about the gases released from the dry ice. Does it go for the ground? This is what you are all the uh, this is what you are all the work has been done. Then you have four component of Earth, which we already discussed: atmosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and geosphere. So in the atmosphere, whatever we study, that were concentrated mostly on what oxygen and nitrogen. So oxygen and nitrogen is the mostly having a this one. So in atmosphere, we know that atmosphere, depending upon their properties, they whatever they are. So this is the composition of atmosphere. This is the composition of atmosphere. You have a troposphere, you have a stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Okay. So troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. So this is all are the composition of Earth atmosphere. So Earth has four main systems. Earth has four main system. Uh, so now one of them we will see the atmosphere. So atmosphere is contain most cloud and contain most cloud and weather. Temperature cools as you go to height minus or 50 degrees Celsius. Sun energy passes through it 50% and 50% is reflected back. So this is the most of the transportation troposphere of the this one is uh, or we can say that this troposphere is a first part of the atmosphere. Then you have a stratosphere, then you have a mesosphere, then you have thermosphere, then hydrosphere. So this is all are the component of atmosphere: exosphere, thermosphere, mesosphere, and last one is maybe ionosphere. So troposphere. So this is all are the sphere which is present in the atmosphere. Then you have troposheet and clouds. Transport here the cloud from when air rises cool its dew from point and become a saturated. So that is known as cloud. So this is your water cycle is all about. So the composition of Earth, the chemical composition of Earth is has a four main buildings. Four main things are so you have a atmosphere, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere. So now in this unit we will see the what is the exosphere. What is the exosphere? First and last. So the last layer of the atmosphere difficult to tell where it stopped and space began. Very few atom in this regard. Very few atom in this regard layer of the atmosphere. Then you have, we have a ionosphere. Then we have a ionosphere. So within mesosphere and thermosphere is a layer the layer of electricity charge particle. This layer is allow radio waves to travel across the country to another country. So you know that sound wave is the one of the fastest one. So whatever they are need, they will they will provide and allow the radio waves to travel across the country to another country. So the interconnection between two countries. So this is your ionosphere. Okay, this is your ionosphere. This is your exosphere. But we can see the this all are the contain of this meat. So you can see that there is a much distance between 80 to 3 point. So 80 kilometer is equal to 3.20 kilometer, 195, 195 uh, 8. So you can see the thermosphere is a bigger one than the your mesosphere, stratosphere and troposphere is uh, stratosphere, troposphere and mesosphere is relatively less in area. So this is all about today's lecture. Hope you understand this one. So atmosphere, this is Earth atmosphere. I will just take a one review, short review on what we study today, and we will be move forward. So now, what is the wetland? Is the area where water table is it near or above the land surface long enough. So this definition you have to go through. This is a very strictly you have to follow that definitions. So in other word, other are the process of wetland. Other are what are the type of wetland. So you have a swampy basin, you have a bogs, you have marshes. So swampy is nothing but a wetland dominated by trees. So if you have a wetland and you have a dominant tree, a long trees, that basin is known as the swampy basin. And the the ventilated, the ventilated commonly by this. This is your atmosphere of the Earth. So temperature, the contain good cloud and weather in a troposphere. So you can have a temperature that is cool as higher 50 degrees Celsius. So it having a biennial temperature changes means once you have a sunlight and all, it will be get reflected. So that heat is also normalized during the this winter session. So you have then you have a earth that is having a four different uh, that is a four different layers. Okay, so that what we are studying now, the exosphere, thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere and troposphere. So we study about troposphere and cloud. Clouds form when air rises, cool at dew points and become saturated. So this is what the water vapor demonstration. Okay, this is in a liquid form and this is when you get evaporated. So precipitation is nothing but when it falling water in the form of rain, freezing rain, or slush, snow, or hail. The weather is the atmospheric condition in terms of temperature, cloud cover, and speed and direction. So, so you can have mostly when we study we have always use the term weather. So what is mean by weather? What is mean by weather? So weather is the atmospheric condition. The weather is a atmospheric condition in term of temperature. The weather is the atmospheric condition in term of temperature, cloud cover, wind speed and direction, humidity and air. So this is all are the or what we can say the thing that we will use for the weather. Okay. So weather is the atmospheric condition of any particular area, whereas the climate is the a long-term condition of a long-term weather condition of any area. That is your weather. That is your climate. So this is the basic difference between weather and climate. So when we often use the word that oh, today climate is changing. So this is a misleading statement, or it's not a correct verbs we use. We have to use the weather, that today's weather is not good. We can't say that today's climate is not good, because climate is a long term phenomena. Climate is a long term phenomena. Weather is a short term phenomena. So whatever the changes that is occurred in the this one is known as weather changes. The climate is minimum you need a 30-year data to define the climate. Minimum you need a 30-year data to define the climate, that the climate has been changes from this area. So this is your temperature. What is the temperature like today? Hot, cold, degree Fahrenheit, degree Celsius. Then you have energy is transferred between the fast moving molecules and slowly moving molecules. Then you have air pressure, air weight that varies over the Earth's surface. Warmer air and exerted less pressure. Cooler air is more dense and exerted more pressure. The humidity, the amount of water vapor in the air, temperature affect how much moisture is in the air. Dew points are when the air is holding as much as water vapor as it can. So dew point is when the air is holding as much water vapor as it can. Relative humidity is a measure of the amount. So these all are the definition what we are gone through. This is a geosphere. What we are geosphere is nothing but a lithosphere. You don't confuse with the geosphere and lithosphere. These are the same terms, geosphere and lithosphere. Okay, geosphere is lithosphere is nothing but a solid earth. Lithosphere is known as the solid earth. Same terms is used for the geosphere also. Same term. Then you have a earth which has a four main system that interact. The earth has a four main system that interact: the atmosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and geosphere. So this is all are different layers of the atmosphere. So which one is the coldest one? Mesosphere. So 50 to 85 kilometer is the coldest place, or when you have a mesosphere is between the 50 to 85 kilometer, but it is the coldest part of the atmosphere, and it can get down to minus 90. So you can get up to minus 90 degrees Celsius in the mesosphere. Up to 90 minus 90 degrees Celsius in the mesosphere you have. The stratosphere minus 10 to 50 kilometer, minus 10 to 50 kilometer. That is the range for the stratosphere. Then you have gets warmer as you can go up. Ozone that is absorb much of the sun ultraviolet radiation and gets warmer. Then you have troposphere, contain most cloud and weather. Most of the troposphere heat is form of Earth temperature cools about 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer of the altitude. And this is a detail about the this is a detail about what we can say the atmosphere window. Okay. So these all are the sphere which we study today: exosphere, thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, troposphere. These all are the sphere which we study today. This is your MCQ question for today's lecture. Hope you understand and get the concept of this one. So why we study this lecture or why we study this hydrosphere and all? What is the uh, what is the use of this all knowledge? Because the hydrosphere is a very hydrosphere and hydrology is a very important aspect, because water, you know that water is a very precious thing. A very small amount of water you are available in this one. So that's why you study the hydrology, hydrogeology as a separate branch. So the branch that deals with the study of water phenomena related to the earth is known as hydrogeology. So in hydrogeology, one of the subject, uh, which is one of the subject hydrogeology, and all this study, this kind of study is carried under this. Like you have aerosols and all this one, your satellite and all this one is placed in the atmosphere through the atmospheric window, and whatever the climate and all are controlled by the atmospheric composition. Or climate, weather, all are controlled by the atmospheric layers or atmosphere. So when the layer is thick and when the layer is thin, that's why you have this pollution problem in Delhi. Often we are stopped by even on odd formula and all. So the atmosphere is a main component which control the climate and weather. So that's why we need to study the uh, that's why we need to study the structural atmosphere and hydrosphere. So this is all from this lecture. Hope you understand the concept of hydrosphere and the atmosphere, different sphere of the earth. This all sphere are get it's not like that you can have a homogenized layer. So that's how you can have this atmosphere, this why we study the hydrosphere and atmosphere. Okay, so this is from this lecture. Hope you understand this all concept, and thank you for listening the lecture. Thank you all. You have a MCQ question in your LMS also, which I have shown in the this PPT. So you can go in the section on your LMS portal. 10 questions are there in your LMS portal. You can go and solve this question. So thank you for listening.